So I'm just going to give kind of a history or rundown of my symptoms, everything that I've dealt with over the past 4 years, all my doctor's appointments, stuff like that. So I was working in home health care, working a lot. We were understaffed. I was under a lot of stress. Um, and just one day, my pain just hit me out of nowhere, completely out of nowhere, just on my right side, and I immediately had to leave work. Went to the hospital, had a bunch of tests run. Believe I had, I think, a CT scan or an X-ray, some blood work, urine test done, um, prostate exam. Um, was given some muscle relaxers. Nothing was wrong with me. So I'm like, okay, take the muscle relaxers, and then go about my day. Um, then I was okay for a few days, and then my pain never stopped. So then I had to deal with it. It was very debilitating. I could barely drive. I could barely go to work. I could barely do my job. It was so bad that it would just hit me out of nowhere or flare up so bad. It would, I would be walking, it would take me to the floor immediately and demobilize me. And I would scream out and cry in pain because it was pure agony. Pure agony. I couldn't tell you how many times I've had to go to the hospital over the past 4 years. Seen multiple doctors. I've had CT scans. I've had ultrasounds. I've had MRIs, renal ultrasounds, where you drink like 32 ounces of water. You can't urinate, and then they scan your bladder, and then you go to the bathroom, and then they rescan it. Um, I've had two prostate exams, multiple things of blood work, urinalysis test, P test, um, literally every test under the sun. Um, the only abnormality I've had was when I had my full body MRI. There was like a millimeter of something at the bottom of my spine, just off kilter. That's it. No kidney stone, no nothing. My GFR, which is how well your kidneys function, when all this first started, was at, I believe, 107, and then it went down to 97, and then now, when I went to the ER a couple months ago, and my GFR is 155. So my renal function went from under 100 pretty much from the get-go to 155, and that's almost medically impossible to improve renal function that much. But I severely changed up my diet. I stopped eating meat because I was having swallowing issues. My body just rejected it. It gave me constant pain. Um, to be honest, diarrhea all the time. I really couldn't eat anything. And there was just a lot of stress going on in my life with owing a lot of money, not having insurance, to go to the doctor and getting hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical bills. I was very stressed out about that. Um, and then I eventually found out through a hospital that I went to that they will wipe all of your medical debt and give you 1 year free of any medical coverage that's within their facilities, which was absolutely phenomenal. Um, but that took me a while because I was still paying on that. Um, and then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Sorry, it's kind of acting up right now because I'm talking about it. Um, and it was absolutely terrifying. I had so many bad thoughts in my head. I thought my kidneys were shutting down. I had a tumor in my stomach, or my liver was shutting down because I had pain on the right side by my ribs. Um, the kidney stone, that was a very traumatic experience for me, but it's not that. And I have learned to let that fear go. Well, I'm working on it. Because last time I passed a kidney stone was, first one I passed, I was 14 or 15, and that was excruciating pain. But that was because growing up, I drank a lot of pop, ate a lot of fast food, was extremely unhealthy. Extremely. But it's okay. It's okay. That was in the past. And then I had another small one when I was, I think, 21 or 22, but I was under a lot of stress then, in my life as well. Um, but the pain is always on my mind. I will have to take medicine to go to sleep, and I'll sleep for the most part, but I still get insomnia and anxiety and worry. Not as bad as I used to. Um, and then uh, I started taking Benadryl. I was like, oh, one or two, to help me sleep. Plus, I had really bad allergies for whatever reason, because I never had them growing up as a kid. But as an adult, they became extremely severe. I would get nosebleeds and have to carry around a towel because I was sneezing so much. My nose wouldn't stop running. Get nosebleeds, itchy face. I just, it was very unpleasant. Um, and then I had to keep taking more Benadryl and more and more and more and more and more. And the only reason I elaborate the word more is because I was taking 15 to 20 Benadryl a night every single day for probably about a year. And the antihistamine or the diphenhydramine, it has a very strong effect on your kidneys over time. Um, and my body just it literally began to shut down. It began to shut down, and I had suicidal thoughts because I wanted the pain to stop so bad because it was 24/7 365. It it was relentless. It would not stop. I could not do anything. Um, all the doctor's appointments, all the scans, the tests, the blood work, the piss test. Um, I've done acupuncture, chiropractor care, yoga, strengthening, stretching, um, a heating pad, a rice bag, um, literally everything under the sun to heal my back. And nothing worked. Nothing. And I didn't realize this was probably about a year or so ago. I started to really research emotions and stuff that was trapped in my body. Um, I was kind of like hit and miss with that. But the past couple months, I have been very adamant with it, making mantras, um, saying them when my pain flares up. I will, as I'm pushing it now, because or not pushing it, but touching the general area, because it's a little sensitive. Um, and just doing everything under the sun to retrain my brain to say, this is enough, you need to stop. I'm in control, not you. But what I didn't understand or realize that when we have a traumatic event in our life, whether that be some type of trauma, PTSD, a physical event, or some type of medical emergency, wherever our body hurts, our brain will be conditioned to triggered that area of hurting. Maybe not as bad as when said event happened, but the brain remembers. It remembers from the day you were born until every single thing. So when something hurts, your stomach hurts, or back pain flare up, your hips, your neck, something has happened in your life, and your brain can re-trigger that pain because it's conditioned to make you panic. And the more you think about it, your brain thrives on that type of conditioning. An example of that would be, say you use a white coffee cup to have coffee in the mornings. Um, so when you're out in public or at work and you see someone using a white coffee mug or a coffee cup, your brain is automatically conditioned to be like, That reminds me of coffee. I need coffee. So it's just many different triggers, but I'm working on it um, a lot. I'm doing a 28-day program, like I said in the previous video. This one's just more in detail, everything that I've went through. Um, I'm trying to retrain my brain to just just breathe and just relax. And nothing is literally there. It is trapped emotions that I have not processed, or trauma that I have not processed or that I've experienced, and my brain is conditioned to think a certain way. Um, so it's